Good evening, everyone. It's always great to see a full house. We encourage you all to come back anytime. Usually this room is quite empty, so we do enjoy having you. Welcome to the Fayette County School Corporation Board of School Trustees Business Meeting. It is Tuesday, October 8th, 2024. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a fun beginning to our meeting with presentations by three of our schools. I think we're going to begin with Little Spartan Preschool. Ms. Cameron.
I'm Mallory Cameron, and I'm the director at Little Spartans Preschool, and I'm really excited today to be able to share some of the great things that are happening at LSP, as well as celebrate some of the great people that help make it happen. So today I have with me Kathy Immerman, who is our Head Start education coach, Nicole Troutline, who is one of our family service coordinators, and then Vanessa Willis, who is a developmental preschool teacher, and she's also the chairperson of our family engagement team. So we've got two different things that we're going to share with you today, and I'll pass out some handouts. The first one, Kathy and Nicole are going to talk about, and it's our fatherhood program. And then Vanessa will follow up with our next event called the Big Blue Candy Walk. Good evening.
So our first fatherhood program was scheduled on Monday, September 23rd, and it was supposed to be at the Oasis downtown Connersville. But because of the rain and the muddy conditions, we had to change that. We held it on the 30th, and we had it at Little Spartans Preschool in the gymnasium. We had 47 kids out of the 132 families that we serve. We started the evening in the cafeteria with Becky Marvel from the Purdue Extension Office and Carolyn Brunzendahl from the Discover Connersville. They talked about the Oasis, about gardening, and the importance of vegetables in one's diet. And the fathers were also encouraged to sign up to help finish out the garden this year and to plan for next year. After the training, we then went to the gymnasium, which we had 4 stations set up. We were really lucky. Discover Connersville donated 70 pumpkins so we could all paint. Patty Robbins helped each child create a healthy snack with flavored popcorn. Sheriff Fagley had an apple station where they learned the parts of an apple, and then the Fayette County Food Council had a station with fruits and veggies, and they each got to pick some to take home.
The Fayette County Food Council was nice enough to donate a few simple items to each family that attended. So every father-child team received a bottle of bubbles. They received an insulated lunch bag with the magnet with all of the food pantry information in it, as well as an education piece on the importance of fathers in their child's learning experience, even at this young age. We are also looking forward to future fatherhood engagement programs. We're going to have one in the winter that will revolve around music, and another one in the spring that will involve math and science activities.
Awesome. Great.
All right. As Mallory said, I'm the chairperson for the Family Engagement Committee. What we do is come together to plan our whole building events. This fall, Little Spartans will be presenting our Big Blue Candy Walk, and that will be on Thursday, October the 17th. The event will be from 5:30 to 7 p.m., and it was a huge success last year, and I included some photos in the packet that Mallory passed out for you, as well as the event flyer. This is an indoor treat walk through our preschool-friendly spooky halls of LSP. We decorate for the event, and the student work will be displayed throughout the hallways for the parents to look at while they're there. Teachers and staff will also be dressed in costume, and many of us will be minions. And Mr. Duncan has graciously accepted our invitation to come as Gru.
I just want everyone to know that I don't necessarily know that I graciously accept it.
You're coming, so we think.
But I'm a good sport, right?
Yeah. It's going to be a wonderful time, and I think the kids will love it. We have some little minion things coming up around the hallways, and they're very excited about seeing that. We have 363 students and siblings under the age of 3 already RSVP'd for the event. And we would also like to take the time to thank our community sponsors and partners. Star Farms, also known as Top Choice Produce, has donated 270 pumpkins, enough for one pumpkin per LSP student. Candy sponsors include Yaryan Eye Care Center, E.W. Brockman Company, Quick Mix, Walmart, the students' families, and the staff of LSP. This event is 100% funded by donation, so you have no building money within this event. Pizza Place has also donated pizzas for our staff to nibble on prior to the event, so they'll also have a little treat for all the hard work they do for the kids at LSP. Our community partners will be in the building to pass out important program information to parents as well as treats for the students. Those sponsors include Centerstone, Firefly, Neighborhood Health, the Fayette County Health Department, NACCO, and the Fayette County Public Library. We will also have an SRO on site to make sure that everyone is safe at the event, thanks to Mallory's generous sponsorship. The next whole building event planned by the Family Engagement Committee will be our carnival, and that will be late winter or early spring.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mallory.
I have a question for anybody on the group. On these Father's Night, if the father is busy, can the great-grandfather be there in that person's place?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Any
As in-
father figure?
As in great meaning he is a great person, or great as in older?
He's calling me out. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
All right, next up, Mr. Todd from Connersville Middle School.
All right, good evening, everybody. I'm just here mostly to give some introductions to some folks that are doing some great things in our building. Rebecca Fuller's going to come up and talk a little bit about Challenge Day, which is how we kick off our August. Many of you board members are very well aware of that because you participated in it. And, we're very grateful when you come on down and take part of that. As you well know, it's just a very eventful, it's an eventful day, but it's a good day. And it really helps kids to think about their thought processes and knocking down barriers and things like that. And it really helps us start our school year off on a very good note. So she'll start. Ms. Fuller will start. She is one of the coordinators of it, along with Mr. Maury. And then we've got some kids that are going to talk about what Challenge Day means to them. And then I know you've all heard of CHS today, because you probably watched that, but we have something at the middle school called CMS today. And it is something that has been ever growing, and so we have Conrad Alston, Lisa Rose, and Ronnie Swango help head that up. And they're just going to talk a little bit about, we kind of see it as almost a little feeder program for CHS today when they get to the high school, if that's the direction they want to go. They've already got some skills as far as interviewing and broadcasting. So I'm going to let them take it away. So Ms. Fuller, go first.
Hi, I'm Miss Fuller. I think most of you probably know who I am. Spoke to me, did Challenge Day with me. Just quickly, I want to thank Reed Health for donating and helping sponsor this event. It's our third year of doing it. I know it's very costly, but it is such an amazing program. And I also like to thank the corporation and school board members who have participated in just allowing us to bring this program into our schools for our students. Today I have Riley Hugh, Aubrey Edwards, and they're going to talk about what their Challenge Day experience was like and their favorite part of Challenge Day. Please. Challenge Day was an eye-opening experience for me to see what situations and barriers people were facing outside of school and how I could relate to them and help them get through them. My favorite part of Challenge Day was seeing how I could relate to those who I go to school with and those actions they might do and see the source of the action they did. That is why I give people second chances, not knowing what they might go through.
Good. Thank you. Awesome.
My favorite thing about Challenge Day was probably the walk the line thing, because it's like where you like walk over the line where you've done this stuff and stuff like that. And it lets you see what other people have been through and what you haven't. It just makes you really grateful. And there's like this thing called family groups where like you're with other people in that group and it makes you closer to people in those groups. Like, yeah.
That's great.
Can you ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so after Challenge Day is over, do you feel like, I mean, it sounds like you two feel as though you've made changes, that you paid attention and it made you think about things you hadn't thought about. In general, do you notice at all any difference in how kids relate to you maybe as a result of Challenge Day?
I don't assume things anymore, as I used to do, knowing now what they go through and how I have sympathy for them and be grateful for what I have.
That's good insight.
Oh, and Riley, oh, I'm sorry. And Riley told me while we were sitting here, she goes, I had 2 students in my family group who weren't always the nicest to me, and after they heard my story, they've been a lot more accepting and not so maybe judgmental or not caring. So
And that kind of answered the question. That's really great to hear. Well, we really, those of us who participated, I know really enjoyed.
It's fantastic.
finally got Chris Hunt after 3 years. I mean, yes, I've been trying. Really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Yes.
Hey, did I miss the postcard thing?
So, no, you have not. I need to contact Lisa regarding that to see when she's going to start that, and then once I know, I can shoot out an email to everybody, since I have everyone's email, so see when that's
The
going.
best and brightest in my group, sitting right there in the front row. Fine young man.
Mr.
Fine young man,
Biggs.
yes.
Aww.
He was awesome in the group. He got me crying.
That's awesome.
I hope, and I've done it for 3 years, I hope what some of you have learned, that some of this that are really old, we persevered. And if you have challenges, and being a middle school student is incredibly challenging, that you can get through it with some tools that you've learned. And clearly, you've learned some very valuable life skills by doing this. Not everybody's in the same boat, and the boat gets pretty crowded, and sometimes it's not a whole lot of fun. So it's as much an experience for the adults, I think all of us have been through it, as it is for the kids. And I spent a lot of time in middle school, and I think it's fantastic. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for your hard
Thank
work
you,
putting
guys.
together. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you. No problem.
Did you want to do pictures? Next up is Ms. Charlton from Eastview.
They're not finished.
Oh, you're still part of CMS. Apologies, I knew 2 parts.
All good.
Good evening. I am Lisa Rose. I'm an interpersonal relations teacher at the middle school, and I also teach the digital media for the 8th grade. And this is Mr. Conrad Alston, and he is an educational assistant in the building. And he has been a huge part in getting this up and going and helping us with the program and offering his continuous support, so we do appreciate that. And this is Mr. Ronnie Swango. He teaches early college careers, and he is my co-teacher for the digital media portion, which is the CMS Today portion. We have created a student-led news program where we feel like students have a voice, they can make choices in their learning objectives, they can also have an outlet to showcase their talents and abilities, and their creativity that make them the heartbeat of CMS. So I think the program truly speaks to letting students make choices in their learning and being able to use that authentic assessment where they can actually go out in a real world context and demonstrate that they've mastered their objectives. So we have put together a video to kind of show the behind the scenes footage. So did you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I was just going to say, as a graduate of Connersville High School and also just a product of the Fayette County School Corporation, I can remember a time where I was at Maplewood Elementary School, and I was on Bulldog News, and then later going on to being a CHS today. What we were missing was that middle school element, a way for our middle schoolers to get involved in a media production and to use their talents and abilities. And so This video shows me and Mr. Austin put this video together, just kind of, it's a little snippet into, what the students do on a day-to-day and also why they really enjoy being a part of the media program.
And then after the video, we have David Fields and Haley Puckett, which are both part of the program, and they're going to talk about their experience.
There it is. Oh, there it is. Audio to it.
At CMS Today, students are challenged to practice audio visual media techniques to deliver a weekly news program to students and staff. Students practice skills in research, graphic design, journalistic writing, interviewing, camera operation, video editing, broadcast journalism, and more. Under the directions of Mrs. Rose and Mr. Swingo, students volunteer for weekly tasks associated with the news broadcast and work individually and in teams to create the final product. Furthermore, at the end of each week, students put on their critical lens and reflect on positives and negatives of each show. Students can offer suggestions and ideas for future episodes of CMS Today. Here are some of the students involved in the production of CMS Today, reflecting on their learning so far this semester.
It's not like any other class that we have. You get to experience new things and environments with new people. You also just don't sit in a chair typing and listening to teachers talk. I also think that it gives everyone a chance to be recognized for something they did. I can see people's faces across the room light up when they hear their name or see their picture. I also think that CMS Today helps us kids get their confidence. With being on or behind cameras, it gives everyone a chance to be themselves. Ms. Rose and Mr. Swingo give us all the confidence we need, and they also teach us life lessons that can help our mental well-being and who we are. They also have positive attitudes all the time and always are willing to help you. This is Avery Morgan from Period 7 Digital Media. Something that I like about being a part of CMS Today is being able to interview people and being able to go out of class to ask people what they do here at CMS. There are a lot of times that people have different jobs. One of the jobs are cameraman, editor, and interviewer, and anchor. Some of the things about CMS Today is that everyone at CMS can watch our show. The teachers that took the CMS job are very nice. They let people choose what job they want. I have fun here at CMS Today. I hope you have fun watching CMS Today.
Awesome.
Okay,
so my speech is called Why I Enjoy Being Part of CMS. One reason I enjoy being part of CMS Today is that I have learned how to use a camera and how to interview people. I also love being a part of CMS Today because we learn teamwork and patience. Plus, we make fun memories with each other and share laughs when we make silly mistakes. It's not all laughs though, we can also learn how to be serious. We get to make fun ideas for CMS Today and create designs for the sports and weather. We get a chance to do graphic design, something not everyone can do. I like how we progress with filming and editing and make designs. I'm grateful to be a part of the CMS Today team. I hope I can keep doing what we are doing and keep getting better at what I do. I have made some good friends in this class and we have shared laughs and we have all grown from our mistakes. I hope we continue to do well and get more equipment to make better videos to practice. We are looking forward to the future and how we grow with CMS Today.
Good job.
Yeah. Good job. Right, David, you are up next.
What I like about being part of CMS Today is being able to meet new people, interview people, and being able to learn more about our staff and students. It's nice to meet different staff members and get to know everyone. There are a lot of different jobs available that you can sign up for. Some jobs I can sign up for are editor, interviewer, camera operator, graphic designer, and anchor. Something else I like about CMS today is where we get to be the stars of the show. The teachers that took the CMS job are very supportive. They let people choose the job they want. We have a lot of fun making CMS today. I hope you enjoy our hard work when you watch the show. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to share the great things that happen at CMS.
Awesome. You guys did a great job. Thank you. Talented kids. Thank you so much.
It's more, it's been around for, CMS Today's been around for a long time, but this is so far afield from where it started, was just kids reading news. And this is fantastic, what this group of teachers have done to upgrade it to something that's really preparation for CHS today. That's great.
Awesome.
Really cool.
Thank you.
Proud of all of you guys.
Good job, guys. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Okay, now I think I've made the right choice by saying, Ms. Charlton from Eastview.
Hello.
Sorry.
So my name is Kate Charlton. I'm the proud principal at Eastview Elementary. And tonight I'm going to introduce you to our Essential Skills team at Eastview. This is a group of amazing individuals who work with students with moderate to severe disabilities, and they're dedicated to learning every day, focusing on the functional academics, social skills, behavior skills, hygiene, and so much more. So behind me I have Megan Durston. She teaches K through 2. Sarah Paxton, grades 3 through 5. Kelly Westerfeld, grades 5 through 7. Allie Allen, she's our speech therapist, and Audrey Kreider, our occupational therapist. She is new to us this year and a wonderful addition to our team. So I'm going to let them have the floor.
All right, we just wanted to give you a couple of key points of why Eastview has life skills program, why it's so valuable to us. Eastview Elementary is the only elementary in Fayette County that has an essential life skills classroom. We have 3 classes that serve students from kindergarten to 7th grade at Eastview. There's no longer essential skills life skills program at CMS, so we keep our students until 7th grade, and then they transition to the high school and start 8th grade. We take that very seriously because Eastview now has to provide a broad base of preparations for our life skills students. When they come to us from the preschool, our teachers need to prepare them for grades 1 through 4. When they come to the upper elementary class, like my class, I have to prepare these students for high school and the high school environment. And that seems odd for like an elementary school, but we really focus on what the high school is going to need from us and from our students, and so we prep them for that. Eastview has, we talked as a group and we wanted to know what was really what we wanted to share with you, and this was our key point. Eastview has a distinct opportunity to expose our general education students to students who have a wide range of physical, cognitive, emotional, behavior disabilities. These students have the unique opportunity of seeing this in action. And why is that so valuable? Because it teaches them to learn and grow and live with students who have disabilities, takes the stigma out of it, takes the fear out of it. And we have such a great opportunity at Eastview for our kids to mesh and grow from one another. Our kids do that through inclusion. They do it from exposure. So that's really important to us. We are, at Eastview Essential Skills students have, when I first started at Eastview, I wasn't really sure what was offered in the life skills program. I thought it was like functional skills, which would be, like the bathing, the dressing, the activities of daily living. And I'm so excited that I learned so much more. My colleagues have been here longer than me, so they've really helped me kind of grow my base of and this is what we offer at Eastview. Eastview Essential Skills students have a dynamic palette of learning that most people might not be aware of. So we would like to share with you today the skills that a student might be exposed to. Our students, regardless of skill level, are expected to meet the standards of Indiana, as all students are. Indiana provides standards for education, for general education students, but they also provide content connectors which match our Indiana state standards, and our students, life skills, essential life skills students, are expected to adhere to those as well. We teach them in the classroom, and that is the expectations for their learning. Each student has academic goals that are standard-based. Students are provided a curriculum that offer a plethora of subjects such as math, ELA, science, health, and social studies. Our students are also exposed to adapted specials as well as general education specials. So they are busy all day with learning and exposure and inclusion. So what we would like to close with today is a quote that came from my classroom, but it could have came from anybody's classroom. Because of the way that we attack things at Eastview, a student said to me this week, learning this is fun, and I can do this. And I said, yes, you can, because our motto is, this quote is everything, because growing young minds and lives, regardless of abilities, is our goal.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So these are just some of our pictures, just highlights. You can see they go on field trips, they join general education classes on field trips, and lots of things going on. So I'm sure Mrs. Allen will speak to some of the pictures here. They get to bake. Popcorn Friday.
So since COVID, we have not done popcorn in a very long time. At least it seems like a really long time. So we decided that what we wanted to do was we wanted to start Popcorn Fridays back at Eastview as a feeder program for our life skills kids. We need a lot of specialty things that you don't find in general education classrooms, and we have trouble sometimes finding the funding for that. So we're kind of taking things in our own hands and letting the kids kind of help us through that. And so we're going to start doing popcorns. We're going to start that this Friday. So we're very excited. We're very excited to do that. These are some of the other kids in our class. We do crafts, we do money stuff, we do calendar, we do basically everything that Kelly said. And what is really, really wonderful, and I'll let them kind of go through all that, but our OT and speech teachers, Allie and Audrey, have started the Thankful Thursday cart, and it has been wonderful.
Are you able to make it bigger, Maggie? Perfect. Okay, so Audrey and I started the Thankful Thursday snack cart this year. So what we do is have teachers participate, and we take a cart around to all the teachers who we love that some of them have joined in. And we take all of our students, we rotate between about 4 of them each time. And it gives them an opportunity to see all the general education teachers, and all the teachers know them now, and they know them by name. They greet them with, a smile, and we work on greetings, we work on sensory skills, we work on communication. And so students keep a checklist to figure out who's gotten what, and that helps us every week. They get to push the cart, they carry a cooler of drinks. They really love it. So it's awesome to see a smile on all the staff who participate, all their faces, and then the kids, they look forward to it every week. So we're really excited to meet other families. Yeah, we love Thursdays at Eastview. Everybody's always like, yes, it's Thankful Thursday. Everyone's so excited. So we really love doing it, and it's something we hope to continue to do.
The incredible thing about the Thankful Card is our students are in a self-contained classroom unless they're out to a special or out to a lunch or recess. A parent has stopped me and said, he's nonverbal, but he helps at the Thankful Card, stopped him and said to him in a store, well, hi, and said his name. And he is 10 years old and no one's ever spoke to him.
And I do want to reiterate with the nonverbal part, Miss Allie has done an incredible job for a lot of our students who are nonverbal. They carry around an iPad and they communicate with the iPad when they go door to door. So it takes a long time, but it is well worth the effort, because it is a nice way for our students to be seen and to be heard, whether they can vocalize that or not. So it's been a wonderful program that we have started, thanks to these two. Who are sisters, by the way. And their mom works at Eastview as well.
Wow.
Yep, it's been really fun. It's been really fun. You want to add your class? One more thing about the cart. One of the big wins this past week was one of the students pushed the cart for the first time on his own.
It was incredible.
Yes, all the way down the hall. So it's just, we're working on a wide variety of skills.
He vocalized all the way down the hallway. I could hear him in our
Yeah.
class. And I opened the door and he's like, hey! What's up? It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
This is my class. We work very hard in my class. A lot of times we learn through playing. So whenever you come in, you might see me on the ground with them. But that's how they learn. So they learn through us modeling for them. You see, we have brand new math curriculum this year. I love it, and the kids love it because they can do it without my help. And just to see that independence with him, he loves it. And whenever I pull it out, he's just putting it all together. I give him his math problem. He'll show me his answer. It's just amazing. So.
Ma'am, how's the, I don't know if it's on the slide, how's the draw poker class?
Anyway, we can get additional funds. There we go.
That's how they raise their.
That's how they
We do have a lot of heated games of Uno.
Thank you guys so much.
You guys are so enthusiastic. I can't imagine a better environment for your kiddos to see your great faces. I just really like that. Wow.
Guys, thank you so much. Anybody that was here for presentations, you're welcome to go. You don't have to stay for the business portion, or you're welcome to stay as well. You guys are so amazing. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, Ronnie. Good to see you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
This looks more normal for us. Okay, on with the meeting. I'd like to seek a motion to approve the agenda as submitted and amended.
I'll give that motion.
Thank you, Jeremy. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ryan. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to public comments on agenda items. Seeing none. We'll move on to the consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes from the regular business meeting of 9/10/24, the personnel report, retirements, resignations, leave of absence, etc., and the approval of the September 2024 claims 68869 to 69074, and then donations. A donation of $500 from Silgan to CHS Boys Soccer Program to be used to help purchase special equipment and supplies. A donation of $500 from Indiana Pioneers to Fayette Central to be used for a field trip to Conner Prairie. A donation of supplies from DonorsChoose.org to Mrs. Hale, Fayette Central, to be used in her classroom. We're always so grateful for our donations. Seeing the consent agenda, I'd like to seek a motion to approve.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Chris, for the second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll go on to action items. First item is the personnel report. Mr. Harris.
Thank you. Personnel report this evening. First, recommendations for employment, recommending certified staff Kelly Doyle as ELL teacher. This is one area that our ELL population has exploded in the last year, and so this is a new position as we add that to assist the students in those needs. Recommending classified staff Savannah Graham as a permanent substitute at the high school, Bobby Huber as instructional assistant at Fayette Central, Amanda Job, Head Start nutrition bus assistant at Little Spartan, Sheila Martin as social worker at Frazee, Mark Maines, custodian at CHS, Jessica Markham as instructional assistant at Everton, Michaela Moore as custodian at the middle school, Jason Pennington as custodian at Fayette Central, Amanda Reese as custodian at the high school. Curtis Smith is instructional assistant at Spartan Marine Center. Tabitha Wee as instructional assistant at Fayette Central. Jacob Zane is custodian at the CHS. As you can see, Daryl has been busy in the last month. Extracurricular staff recommendations, Kevin Cassidy as the head varsity wrestling coach at the high school. Chandler Grable as 7th grade baseball coach at the middle school. That takes care of those recommendations.
I had a question on the consent agenda personnel report and saw that we've lost at least one bus driver and another one's on leave.
We do have.
And so are we still good with bus drivers?
We are tight right now. Mechanics are driving every other day probably, but we've got 3 that have put in to be a sub driver that we're trying to train now. So we're getting ready to hopefully get one back and be ready to go with some subs.
I don't know where I heard this. I don't know if it was the video you sent me, but about schools that offer drive a bus for the day or something where they invite people to come in and try driving a bus to see what they think about it. Obviously, those people don't have their CDLs yet, but it's just to familiarize them. I don't know if that's ever something we thought of or,
It's an interesting cause.
We have talked to Noblesville, who has done that before.
That's what
and
it
we
was,
have
because
talked-
it was the Noblesville
yeah,
Forum. Yeah.
They had 8 or 10 they said come, but that was really it.
Okay.
And ended up with no drivers. So,
Okay.
um,
I knew I heard it
but
somewhere.
We have talked about that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Okay, seeing the personnel report, I'd like to seek a motion to approve.
Give that motion.
Thank you, Jeremy. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ann. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, let's go on to the approval of the resolution 2024-05 for appropriations and tax rates for the 25 budget.
Okay, you're going to have a number of resolutions from me. This goes back to the finance presentation of last month. And I just want to remind board members there's going to be lots of signatures afterwards that we have to do to follow the finance process. But the first resolution is Resolution 2024-05. And this resolution is on behalf of the Fayette County School Corporation to address the expenses and the tax rates that we are advertising for the 2025 tax year. And just as a reminder, again, you see that the proposal in the resolution is for the debt service fund to be at 39.91 cents, and the adopted the tax rate for the operations of being $1.12, a little more than that, to come out to $1.51. I anticipate that DLGF will drop this back to right around our $1.18, which is where we have been the last 3 or 4 years as we've really focused on maintaining that tax rate neither up nor down. So this is simply what we are advertising and have advertised, and we will wait then to hear from DLGF once they review our whole budget and get that back to us usually in December.
Thank you for that explanation. I would like to seek a motion to approve Resolution 2024-05 for the appropriation and tax rates for the 2025 budget.
Give that motion.
Thank you, Jeremy. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to the approval of the Resolution 2024-06 to adopt the capital project fund plan for 2025.
And really Leslie covered about everything there. The next one, we just have to approve the resolution of the capital projects fund, which was presented last month. Maybe it just seemed like last week. But I'm seeking approval of this for the capital projects fund going forward in 2025.
Okay, I'd like to seek a motion to approve Resolution 2024-06 to adopt the capital projects plan. Thank you, Mark. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Lori. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, on to the approval of Resolution 2024-07 to adopt a bus replacement plan for 2024. Mr. Harris.
This resolution is seeking approval for the bus replacement plan. As we've talked about, the bus replacement plan goes out for 5 years. and we look at trying to moderate the taxes and to maintain our school bus fleet as we go forward. So I'm recommending approval of Resolution 2024-07.
And I'd like to seek a motion to approve that resolution to adopt the bus replacement plan. Okay. Chris raised his hand while you were sorry. Thank you, Chris. Do I hear a second? Thank you, Jeremy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next, the approval for transferring amounts from education fund to operations.
This is one that we have done every year, again, that I've been here, now starting the 5th year. And this is one where, partly because of the circuit breaker, it takes money away from our operations fund. Also, it's anticipated that some money from the education fund gets transferred. But I'm seeking approval of this resolution, 2024-8. And what this allows us to do is to transfer 15% of our education funds into our operations fund. This is one I can tell you as the year goes on, we're going to be monitoring this. We can't go above 15%. That's the maximum from the state. But we'll just be evaluating how the two funds work together.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to seek a motion to approve the resolution 2024-08 to transfer amounts from education fund to operations fund.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Ryan. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Jeremy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Mark, are you raising or are you not? Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, the approval of classified salary changes, Mr. Harris.
This is one I will tell you I have struggled on a long time this year, looking at declining enrollment, revenues and all of those kind of things. But working with Jeremy, working through the budget and all that, we feel like we still need to make strides there. Going back, I know I've been harping on this for a while, but you will definitely be seeing a decrease in the fund balance of the education fund due to some of these raises, but I'll just read through it. I'm recommending that classified staff will receive a minimum increase of 4% as determined by the proposed pay schedule. There are some places every year, last year if you remember, the instructional assistants actually received a pay increase of about 12%, went from I think $12.55 up to a minimum of $14. This year we think there's been some other areas where maybe we fell behind a little bit. The executive secretaries, meaning the secretaries at the building level, our technology people, our maintenance staff, there's some larger increases there. We've got the kind of the summary of the pay on there. But the minimum pay of the classified staff will raise to $14.56 throughout. Also recommending that classified sub-pay. Sometimes we have custodians, bus drivers, multiple things. We have subs. We're recommending that the sub-pay be increased there for $13 an hour. Substitute teachers is one that we recommend, or I'm recommending a $5 a day increase to all of those positions. $85 if they have a high school diploma or a high school equivalency. $95 if they have a bachelor's degree or military service, and $110 if they are a retired teacher. I think the part that really I struggle with and how to do all this is the total cost of these increases will be approximately $380,000. Last year with some of the changes we made, I want to say, I didn't go back, I edited, but I want to say we were about $250,000 of new money last year that we added to this, so this is a significantly higher amount than we did in the past year.
Randy, we basically have to do this to keep competitive, correct?
We have to do it to keep competitive. We also, I mean, everybody knows inflation's went up the last year. I don't know that we totally keep up with it. It kind of depends on where you're at, but trying to do that. Also, there's just some positions we felt like we were a little bit behind. I think the other side of it is with classified staff, where on the teaching side of it, truly we're competing on the teaching side with all of the surrounding school districts. You know, are we paying as much as Richmond? Do we have better benefits than Franklin County? Do we match the
ECA schedule of Rush County, or whatever it may be, we look that way because teachers are more mobile, they move directions, and how do we do that? But when I'm looking at classified staff, I'm really looking within I'll call it the 4 boundary areas that surround Fayette County. And that is because rarely are we going to lose an instructional assistant even from Everton that goes down to Laurel. They just don't do that. But we are competing against Hardee's and Wendy's and Walmart, and a secretary maybe that could be hired by a local law office or insurance agent or realty office or whatever it may be. We're really competing against all of the businesses in Fayette County, not so much competing against surrounding counties. And obviously there are people that go across the county lines, and we have some people in these classified positions that don't live in the county. But for the most part, this is really pretty well a very local issue, and that's what we're looking to be competitive with.
And I think we have to, it's for us as board members, many of us need reminders every year when you go through the budget of remembering where the pots of money are. I think it's harder for the public to understand that. And when you see the budget, the way the budget is, there's a question in the public, often about why aren't we paying people more? And I think it helps to reiterate that we have an education fund and an operations fund, and the education fund is based almost entirely on student enrollment, and we have had declining enrollment every year. And so to consider how we're going to be able to continue, and we've been very fortunate in Fayette County. We've had good balances. We've been able to do this for our staff, and it's really important to us. And we also need to consider that this is a budget year for the legislature. And so when the time comes, I hope that all of us and all the folks out there that may be watching remember to contact your legislators to remind them of the necessity to increase the funding formula for schools, because that's how we pay our folks. And it's scary. It's scary to think that we're losing students and we still want to pay our people what they deserve. For sure. Thank you for that, Randy. I'd like to seek a motion to approve the classified salary changes.
I so move.
Thank you, Anna. Second. Thank you, Chris. Any further discussion? All those.
Daryl, are we able to keep a sub list for our custodians?
No, not really. We hired 5 people the last week, and 4 of them didn't even show up for work. I mean, we're trying. We're at the point we're almost to capacity. We got Mike Peters back tomorrow, who's been out sick. Rose Frazier's out. She just got out of the hospital, so we're hoping she gets back soon. But we keep, as you heard tonight, we hired a bunch of custodians, and we keep asking more and more out of them, and I think we've done the right thing and showed them tonight that, hey, we do care. So I think that's going to go a long way with our people, and it is going to be competitive with places around town that we can compete with. Our benefit package is better than most, but I mean, we got the pay now that is coming up with it. So I think we're averaging 7 people a week with our new system for applications. So it's getting better, but as you heard again, we had a bunch of hires, so we've been asking since the beginning of school, do more, and so now we've showed that we care enough, I think. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Daryl. Any other discussion?
Just we really appreciate, I know when school starts, I see the buildings and how nice they look, and our custodians, of course, being in the school system for so long, I've seen the hard work that they do, and they deserve everything we can give them.
Absolutely. I appreciate that work, and they will too.
Substitute teachers, it's a chronic issue. Everybody has problems, and this will make us a little bit more competitive with Franklin County and with Rush County, because they pay a little bit more than we do. They pay retired teachers $125 a day, and my thing has been, but it costs you money to drive to Rushville, so why would you do that? And we offer the package that we offer as far as the incentives. I think that you presented in the last information incentives for subs if you do it on a certain day, if you're there so many times a month. I think that will help some people that would be likely maybe to go someplace else for a day or two, but rather keep it here. But I think we need to do a better job in recruiting. I get emails weekly from other school corporations around wanting to know if I will go sub, which I will not do. But I don't know if we can increase that outreach to the people around us to maybe get more people. I don't know.
That's a good question.
But that's just something that's kind of come up because I've gotten from South Henry, from Rushville, from Franklin County, Winchester. But it seems to be a service of sort that does all this. We've looked at your things. Would you be interested in subbing? So I don't know if we're part of something like that, but we might attract a few more people. I don't know.
We're not. Most of the time, those services come at a cost, and so typically that cost is around $18 a day per sub to use a third party to be that person.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'd rather keep that in-house and pass that money on to our substitutes.
I figured it would cost something, but I didn't realize that's pretty costly.
It's pretty substantial, yeah, unfortunately.
Any other discussion? Motion's on the floor. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, approval of the final bond resolution 2024-09. Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, Randy, thank you so much, Mr. Harris, for your hard work on our budget and all that. It's always this balance between trying to give people what we feel like they deserve and what we want to give them via our heart, but also making sure we take care of the corporation, right? Because we need to be financially viable, and so those are always hard decisions to make. We don't necessarily can't go make and sell more widgets to bring in more dollars. So that budget is controlled essentially by the factors that you discussed. So thank you, Mr. Harris, for your hard work on that. I do have a final bond resolution here. This is based upon the bond that we've discussed, the GEO bond, in the amount of $995,000. This is in response to some needs that we have within our school corporation, but also a response to our increase in net AV. So this should have minimal to no effect on our tax rate because of that net AV increase. This is a very, very long resolution that kind of goes through the nuts and bolts of the legalese of what it means, but at its core, it's that $995,000, essentially the interest rate that should not be any more than 5.5%, hopefully, when we go to market. And we're going to pay this thing off in a little over a year. So it's a very short-term GEO bond. Randy, anything to add there?
Nope.
Okay. So.
And this GEO bond is helping us pay for the new bleachers, is that correct?
That's the hope, right? That's the plan. We had a little bit of a stumbling block this week that we're working our way through right now because to replace those things with brand new bleachers is essentially $1.6 to $1.8 million. Obviously, there's not that here, so we're looking at using a used bleacher installer essentially, and we're making sure we vet that individual, look deeply into making sure it's the right thing to do before we pull the trigger. So I don't say it's a stumbling block, but we just want to make sure we do our homework.
That's right.
So.
Okay. I'd like to seek a motion to approve the final bond resolution 2024-09.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Lori. Second. Thank you, Jeremy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to the approval of the declaration of official intent to reimburse expenditures, resolution 2024-10.
Yeah, thank you. So this resolution essentially allows us the opportunity to, if we need to step into the project prior to having funds in hand, which should happen sometime in the month of December, we can do that and then essentially reimburse ourselves, not to exceed that dollar amount of $995,000. That essentially is what the resolution is asking for, is that opportunity to do that if we so need to.
Okay, I'd like to seek a motion to approve the declaration of official intent to reimburse expenses, resolution 2024-10.
Make that motion.
Thank you, Ryan. A second. Thank you, Jeremy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to discussion items. Mr. Harris.
Actually, I think Mr. Duncan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take this one if that's
Yeah.
okay, and we'll just
We kinda
tag team a little bit.
Yeah, yes, and this is on the, sorry, this is on the tentative teacher agreement.
Yeah, so we had the opportunity to work with the American Federation of Teachers, our union. Wonderful process. We had a very quick meeting to start with. I think maybe 15 minutes was our first session. Came back the next week and we're able to knock this thing out in a night. So kudos to our bargaining team, their leadership and cooperation to get through it. I do want to share just a few things that are part of this. We are required by law to essentially hold this meeting where we go through the tentative agreement and talk through the details. I pulled some things out of this from what I had for the teachers, but I do want to just briefly walk through it. Items to be bargained, we can only bargain salary, wages, and wage-related fringe benefits. That's all we can do at the table. Everything else either goes to discussion at the building level or the corporation level. Every raise that we give our teachers has to be based on one of 5 statutory factors: experience, education, evaluation, instructional leadership, or academic needs of students. You have to use at least 2 of those factors to give a teacher a raise. So that's changed. And way back when, you could give a teacher a raise based upon just a year of experience, right? And so lots has changed in that way. I'm going to go past this and this as well. I do want to show the ADM trend. Formatting got goofy on this. I don't know why, so I apologize. And the numbers have changed a little bit since I went to the bargaining table with this. But as you can see, we've talked to it already. We have on average the last decade lost about 57 students a year. The bad news is this year, I hate to tell you, we're right at that number. We're about 60 kids down. So although we're on the second year of a biennium in terms of the budget, and there was a little bit of new money there that was represented, which I can't read because it's on top of each other. I apologize. I don't know what happened to the formatting. Long story short, we still have, even with our new money that's on the table, there was still a significant shortfall in that difference as far as new money and lost money because of lost ADM. So I say that to say that we talked to our teachers about that, essentially, that yes, we're willing to give you a raise, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but do understand that this raise may be a neck out a little bit. Our cash balances are healthy. We may have to look at some places in the future as we move forward that we have attrition losses, if you will, if we have teachers retire, those types of things to make sure that we keep up with the market, we take care of our people. But also, I mean, the reality of it is you have to respond to lost enrollment, right? You can't keep the same number of staff and such as you move forward if you continue to lose kids. It just is what it is. So, so these are the things that we have bargained. Essentially, dual credit. We want to make sure that those people are valued for the work they've done to get their master's degree, to step into dual credit courses. So we've just upped the pot of money essentially for that to $27,000 from $20,000. It's a $7,000 expense, of course, for the corporation, and that's essentially split evenly amongst all those teachers who do teach a dual credit class. Prep period, we do have teachers, because of a substitute shortage of time, that do cover classes, and so we've raised that dollar amount that they receive from $20 a class to $25 for covering a prep period, and include their guidance folks in that as well, but limited that, and I did put that on here, to 1 class covered per day at that cost, if that makes sense. Athletic supervision, we've upped that from $1,320 to $1,800. That was a clean number to give $600 essentially for our high school athletics folks to be able to use their teachers to help supervise events. So $600 per season essentially is what that comes out to. We've added 5 days to our ag teacher at the junior high and high school. I know she splits time for some summer work. We value obviously the work that our ag department does, our FFA folks, and so it's really important to us. And so here's the big one here as far as the teacher compensation piece. So each teacher will move the bottom of the scale, and every subsequent level above that will move up $500. So additionally, if a teacher has an effective or highly effective evaluation, they move a step on the schedule. That step on the schedule for us here at Fayette County is pretty substantial. So $1,575, so $1,575. So I would have loved to have put that entire $2,075 on the bottom, but what that does is it compresses your year 0 and your year 1 teachers, and they both get the same raise, and you have a little bit of an equity issue there. So what happens though at Fayette County is we very quickly make up any difference in starting teacher pay in comparison to other corporations because of the fact that those steps are so large. Now, the state of Indiana does not allow you anymore to say there's an assumed raise every year, so you can't say that. Like back in the day when you had a teacher's contract, you knew on year 6 I was going to get X amount, Can't do that anymore. You have to take that to the bargaining table and bargain that every year. But if we're to make an assumption that they're going to get that raise, we very quickly make up that difference between any starting pay differential and quickly surpass folks that are around us. Our top end, which we added that level because if you're going to move everybody a level, you got to either get people at the top of stipend or you've got to add that next level. So our people at the top, we do not have a master's lane and a bachelor's lane. We just have one lane. And so those folks, they top out over $80,000 a year. And so that level is one that we've added there as well. So that's the compensation piece. Essentially the $500 that is on the bottom is, we attribute, what factor did we use for that one, Randy? Do you remember?
The bottom?
Yeah.
That was just educational need.
Educational need, and then the 1575 would be based upon your highly effective or effective evaluation. So if we did have teachers out there that did not receive a highly effective or effective evaluation, they won't get that raise of 1575, just because statutorily they're not allowed to if they haven't been highly effective or effective. So that's the compensation piece. Any questions about that? Does it make sense? I hope. Okay. We do have one additional thing that we've added, which is birth and bonding and adoption time. Essentially what we're doing is we're allowing people to take the benefit days that they've been afforded and use those to stay home with baby, right? And this isn't necessarily mama, but we're talking about dads, same-sex partners, whatever that happens to be, right? That they can essentially take that time. The way that it was prior, essentially, if you read it to the letter of the law, they would have had to take X number of personal days, which they couldn't take more than how many at a time?
6.
The way that it was written.
3 at a time.
3 at a time. And I even heard a story from someone that they had to take 3 days, come back to work, and then go back home with their baby. And it's just not okay. So we put their leave days anyway, right? So this just takes care of people, right? And allows dads to be dads and moms to be moms, and yeah. Also allows the opportunity, if you were to adopt a child that you receive, you can use those benefit days for that as well, which I think is fantastic. So that, I think, in a nutshell, is the major changes. Randy, did I miss anything?
I think you got it.
We do have to provide the opportunity for public testimony, or public comment. So I don't know if anybody here has any public comment as far as the CBA is concerned, or the proposed CBA. Good to go. So I think our association is voting on this.
They presented Monday, and then we're giving them, I think, 3 days to vote on it, so by the end of the week, we should have an answer.
Yeah, to know where we are as far as that vote. I don't anticipate any concerns. I think it's a good contract for our teachers. I really do, especially in the face of some challenging times in terms of ADM. It's a good contract. I feel really good about the work that we did at the table for our people. But the next step would be at least 72 hours after this meeting, then we have to hold that ratification meeting. We've set that date, so that would be Tuesday, the 29th at 7:15 a.m. We will bring that before you for actual ratification. There will be a few other items we're going to bring that night as far as some other raises, just to get all of that done at the same time. But because we haven't talked administrative raises yet, we haven't. What else am I missing?
We're going to have the resolution to even up. I mean, we have one, and this is a little bit different. There will be a resolution. We have one person in the bargaining unit that, because of her degrees and experience and the possibility we would lose her, will be getting a pretty significant increase, but that was also discussed at the bargaining table with the union, and they approved that. So there'll be a resolution. That's a legal way that we can do that. We've worked with Michelle Cooper, our school board attorney, to get the language and all of that. But those two items will also be in addition to the contract.
Yeah. So, any questions about the tentative collective bargaining agreement between the corporation and our teachers association?
No, I really appreciate all the work that admin does and our really wonderful union and their representatives. Wasn't able to attend any of the negotiations this year, but I think we've been very fortunate in Fayette County. We have a great working relationship with our union, and
they're very realistic about where we are and
Yeah,
where they are.
I think it's mutual, it's a team effort, and I'm really pleased.
Yeah, and Randy, again, great job. And I think they left feeling heard and valued and appreciated, which is really what we're after, you know. Again, money's not always there to give, and we're hopeful, again, to your point, that the next year when we have our new budget cycle, that we're able to see some positive growth there again. And what you said is right. I know last year they ran 5 budget runs before they actually got down to the one that they gave us in stone. The first several were not favorable for schools. And so I know a lot of our associations put out calls to their people to talk to their legislators, and it made a difference. And so I say that to say, like, they do listen if we're loud enough. And we're hopeful that we can bring some more money to the table for our people next year.
And every year, we try to host some sort of event where we bring in our legislators. And last year, we got to go to Little Spartan Preschool, and that was really, that was great. They were so intrigued and
So impressed.
And so impressed by everything that was done there. So we will probably plan for something again this year, and again, that's just a real important piece. I was going to ask, separate from this, since that's just a discussion item, I know that the corporation put out a notice on social media to try to get families to sign up who were eligible for free and reduced lunch, because that impacts our complexity index,
It sure
correct?
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it matters in a lot of ways. It matters as
Yeah.
far as Title I funding, it matters as far as other grant funding, it does matter. And things have changed over the course of time. Of course, we're free lunch at our elementary buildings, and we don't charge textbooks anymore, right? So there isn't necessarily that innate motivation all the time to fill out the paperwork, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I just...
Or not even aware, because they're
Absolutely.
free lunch and they're getting their textbooks paid for.
You're not getting your bill.
COVID, everybody got it.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
that
Very
was a huge change.
Yeah,
because
for sure.
during COVID, everybody got the free lunches.
Yeah. But the worry is, Title I funds a lot of our stuff. We talk Head Start, that's part of it. We talk about programming in the classrooms for our teachers and for our kids. You talk about community eligibility program for our free lunches in our elementary schools. All of those things matter. So I will say, just between the time that we put that kind of all call out and the time when that became cemented, I think we gained 150 or so. Rachel had told me 150 or so different folks had signed up. So
That's great.
kudos
Yeah.
to our community for
Well,
coming
and
through.
when they pre-register for school, if they do it on a computer, it's pretty easy to do. But if you try to do it on your phone, by the time you get to the free or reduced price lunch, it's very difficult to manage those kind of things from the phone. And that's the only access some people have. So
For sure.
we've noticed when people come in to register at school, you scroll down, and that's one of the last things that you do. And it's just much easier to do on a laptop or a computer rather than trying to do it on your phone.
Yeah, for sure.
And just for people to know, that complexity index is yet another source of funding that goes with the student and enables us to build up our education fund, to pay our teachers. So I know we throw around some terms here that not everybody's always familiar with, so just to kind of explain that.
Yeah, great question. Thank you. It was actually 126 that we gained.
Okay.
I looked it up. So, but yeah,
good,
still,
though.
that's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, persons wishing to make the board aware of suggestions, ideas, and/or comments may address the board at this time. Comments which involve personnel or students must be discussed in private. Seeing none, we'll move on to superintendent discussion groups reports. Ann and I and Jeremy attended the Indiana School Board Association Conference, the 23rd and 24th, is that the right date? Got to attend lots of good workshops. I thought it was a good conference. I don't know if there's anything you wanted to share, Ann?
Well, the one thing I like about the Indiana School Board Association, it's not a bunch of experts coming in and talking to us about stuff. It's real people, real school corporations that have real issues very similar to what we have, and how they go about solving those problems and creative in creative ways, the way they develop school climate. So I attended several sessions that were really quite good about that. One was from Rossville, and they do a really, really good job of maintaining staff, because they lose staff. And I think that's an issue that all schools have to deal with. It's not necessarily always just money, but it's school climate, feeling appreciated, how they work with them, and just seeing how other school corporations do this, I think is very, very, very helpful. So.
And Kim presented, she was a presenter, and Jeremy and I got to attend that, and it was with EES,
Yes, EES.
And you can capture what they do in a nutshell, which I stumbled.
We presented on using AI and to increase the evidence that administrators are giving to teachers. So what we do is we use a walkthrough form, and the administrators go through and click on certain domains and outcomes that they want, and then AI generates 3 paragraph comments for them, so that they get that immediate feedback, so that there's not that prolonged feedback. And so we presented that at the conference.
Mrs. Corsaro did an amazing job.
I don't know about that.
Represented our corporation.
Well, it was very well attended and lots of questions, and AI is here.
It's the future.
Here. And so, yeah, it was a great conference. Principal directors reports. Anybody have anything to share?
I'll go over just a quick few things. We're meeting with the baseball guy again tomorrow. We haven't had much movement on it, so they've said it's been too wet, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. As you can see, the 2 bushes out here are gone. Randy came up with a brilliant idea to put a new brick sign. It's about 5 foot by 12 foot going up out there. We'll say welcome to Fayette County School Corp, which is, they will start on Monday or Tuesday. The stuff come in today. If you haven't been to the new restrooms at Spartan Bowl, they're moving along. They're starting to really look good. So there is progress still there, but they're a little behind because the tile got dropped in Indianapolis and every piece was broken. So we had to go back and get all new tiles. So but it was very light. So lots of good things. And again, I want to say thank you just for our staffs. I mean, I can't imagine anybody's going to be upset with what they heard tonight. So it does show that you appreciate them. I appreciate the board voting yes. Randy and Jeremy's effort on it to get it done, and that was great. Thank you.
Thank you for all that you do.
Anybody else? All right, Director of Operations report, Mr. Harris.
I'm going to get to my routine stuff at the end. Couple things. If you weren't already aware, Kimberly Roberts, our accounts payable, has been out for the last couple of weeks. She had some major surgery, and she's doing great. She's doing well. But I really want to thank Lisa and Cindy and Tina and Crystal and Stephanie and all the other gals in the office. They have really dove in and assisted. They almost act like they're having fun sometimes. But then there's the other time it's like, yeah, this is still work. But they have been tremendous to keep up with the paperwork and the claims. And so thank you to all of them that, everybody knows they're here somewhere, but they never know what they do kind of. And they've just really did a great job. You'll start hearing more and more as we go on. But just to let you know, yesterday we had a meeting about Frazee Elementary and the building project. It was just the very first beginning stages, but right now the schedule is to start with the construction project on December the 2nd, and it will continue to evolve from there. You probably don't know this, and I'm sure there may be questions tonight, yet tomorrow morning. I'm sure thankful when you approve things because last week we prepared letters. I don't know if you know it or not, but every classified staff member should be receiving a letter through interoffice mail tomorrow. I will actually take and deliver those around, but it will tell each, because everybody's going to go, well, what did I get? I don't care what Daryl gets. I only care what I get. Daryl cares what he gets, and so everybody's that way. So we actually go through it I don't know how many times, and I know there's going to be 2 or 3 mistakes because there always is. But it simply tells the employee we appreciate what they're doing, and it says here's what you were making today, and here's what you're making tomorrow based on approval of the board. So they will be getting the notifications of that. We do the same thing when we get to the other raises, hopefully here later on. So they will be getting those letters tomorrow.
Randy, if I can just really quickly, I do want to say this. Kudos to the corporation and to you as leaders for your generosity. Other corporations that I've been a part of, that classified staff pay raise has not been retroactive to July 1. We've taken care of people in that way here at Fayette County. And so they receive a chunk of money here sometime in the month of November. That'll be the retroactive pay. Most places I've been is effective as of January 1 of the next budget year. So I do want to say that, like, kudos to the corporation for the work they've done in the past to take care of people in that way. That's a good thing. We're able to continue that.
Yep.
And the fact that they're getting something personal, I think is so important, that they're valued as a person. Because how much am I going to get? Here it is. It's right in front of you, and it's just very personal. And I think that's something that's important for us to do. It's not institutional.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, Randy.
Last two items, you have just a spreadsheet in front of you. This is just the update of where we've been on transfers for the last year. So these are internal transfers. We usually just keep the board informed as we go through the year on that, so you can see what internal transfers we have had. And you probably didn't even recognize it. We actually had one tonight. The new wrestling coach, head wrestling coach, was actually middle school coach last year, and normally that would be just handled as a transfer, but I felt that as a head coach like that, it probably needed just notification of public and the board, so we brought that to you, even though I guess technically we didn't have to, but felt that was important.
He will be, I've watched him since he wrestled in middle school, and he did a fantastic job with the middle school wrestling program. He's bringing kids with him to the high school wrestling program. So I think that's a really good opportunity for Kevin, and I think it'll be a really good thing for the program because he's had experience with the younger kids, and they like him and trust him, and they will stay with him. But he's very, very, very good with the wrestlers.
And then the last thing I have is the monthly fund report. So we can continue to go along. We're looking okay at the moment. We will look okay a year from now, but we probably won't look as good as some of these balances. And you know, I hear ringing in my ear probably from some board members and other people. School districts, we're not a bank. Our job is not to make money. We're not out here. Our money is to use the resources to the best of our ability to provide education to the students in our school district. And that's what we're attempting to do.
Thank you for your hard work, Randy. We really do appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much, Randy.
Assistant,
Busy season, right, Randy?
yeah. Assistant Superintendent report.
I do not have anything to report tonight.
I know. I talked the last 2 months. Superintendent's report.
Yeah, just a couple things really quickly. Just want to give a shout out to our tennis team for winning a sectional championship, which is super exciting. I think they're participating tonight in the regional semifinal. Is that right? At Center Grove. And so I haven't heard anything yet, but hopefully it's going well.
They did that, Jeremy.
They won?
They'll be heading back on, I believe it's Saturday.
So having the sectional, or that would be the regional final at that point, right?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting.
How about our girls soccer? Did they?
I believe they play tomorrow night. Yeah.
At 5.
Okay.
Yeah, they were.
The boys won 3 in tennis, so they will play Thursday at Center Grove.
Thursday. Okay. Awesome.
Great.
They've had a fantastic season. Their record is really solid and have done a really good job. So excited for that. And then in girls soccer, I think boys soccer semifinals Wednesday.
Yes.
I think tomorrow. Yeah. So a lot going on, but it's been a pretty successful fall season, which has been a lot of fun. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but our official fall count day number as of October 1st was 2874 is the number that we're reporting. And we'll report that to the state of Indiana. We're in that certification period now, and so we have until the 11th to get all that done. I do want to, October 16th is a teacher-only day for professional development that is coming up. That's next Wednesday? Next Wednesday. And so teachers or kids won't attend that day. We do have parent-teacher conferences on that day for our kiddos as well. So hopefully parents will come out and be part of that. It's a big deal to get in the buildings and to talk to teachers about how your kiddos are doing. So And then we will be starting those board policy revisions that we talked about through CCHA. It's going to be a heavy lift. It's going to be about a year-long process as we overhaul those board policies. So I'll be in touch with some of you that might be part of that process as far as behind-the-scenes work to help draft some of those policies. But you'll see the first batch of those come to you before you get the November board meeting. So we'll get that process started as soon as we can. But I think that's all I have.
All right, anything for the good of the cause?
Well, I had the pleasure today, of course, working in the federal building. We have a pretty tough screening process the Marshal Service does for anybody that comes in, because they're only lying between the nuts and federal judges. I've had a young man come in today, and I was standing in the back with the other marshals, and I said, I want to handle this young man. And I went up to that young man, and I screened him like I've never screened him. I even checked the gold in his teeth to make sure everything was good. The young man was Scott Collins. He came from the building, and
That's awesome.
it just tickled me to death. And I won't say exactly, but it's public knowledge. I think South Decatur must be going through a federal lawsuit. So Scott had a whole entourage of people with him. The other ones I just let do, but Scott.
Yeah, he's a little bit shady.
Let's pull him aside.
Oh my goodness. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Was he surprised to see you?
Yes, he was.
I'll only correct a little bit, keep somebody else out of the news that doesn't want to be there. It's not South Decatur, but it's MSD of Decatur Township, in Marion County. So there is a South Decatur school, so it's not them.
That's right, I said South Decatur. Yeah.
You said Collins.
That's so
Yes.
funny. That's hilarious.
So he's looking great. So that's
I'd like
God, we're glad we're going. He's going now, I told him. So.
I'd like to give kudos to Jeremy. I had the pleasure today of being a judge for some projects that 8th grade science class was doing. And he came in and was a judge for one period, and the kids were like, who is that? And it was really cool to have you there, even for the short period of time, and the kids really appreciated it, and so did the rest of us that participated. But that was just really a really interesting experience today to find out what the kids wanted to do. They were building a new school, and they were given 3 sites, and they had to have environmental things and physical structures, and it's amazing what middle school kids really want in a school. Anything from somebody that was really technical to wanting a heliport. In case we had in case we had an earthquake and we had to evacuate very quickly. So it was really good that even for the short time that you could come out.
Oh, thank you. I wish I could have been longer. I was bequeathed the title of mayor, so.
Yeah, you upstaged the rest of us just walking. It was great.
My shirt and tie, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
Yes. I would like to encourage everybody to vote. Early voting started today at the local courthouse. Quite a few people there. I want to give a little bit of an honor to my old mentor, Harry Smith, who probably loved this community as much as anybody I know in this country. And what rings in my ear every year at this time around election time, he made a point to tell us as students that we should go in and vote as though our vote alone decided every election. I've never forgotten that.
Yep.
And the last 10 years I taught, 2005 to 2015, I had every senior in those 10 years. I was the only government teacher at that time. And I know personally that I probably registered at least 90+% of those kids.
Awesome. Are we
right
still
out
doing
their
that?
schools. So I hope our government teachers, our social studies teachers are stressing elections and the importance of elections and the process. But just want to encourage everybody to vote. I think we all love this country and we all need to do our duty, and that is your duty as an American to go vote.
100%.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I hope we're still doing that in school.
Yeah.
I would just like to say, I want everyone to remember Kim next week.
I know,
She
yeah.
has special circumstances coming up next week, so if you would please remember Mrs. Casaro in your prayers on Monday.
Yes. Superhero mom.
Wear your socks proudly.
I will.
Okay, looks like it's time.
I will make that motion so we can get our signet hands.
And do I hear the second?
I will second that.
All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned.